we do more things, then we'll make more money. It's just common sense.
Yep.
And every single time we try to do that, it has never worked. And it's so funny because let's just take creative finance, for example, right? I will tell people, like students, they're like, well, what about creative finance? And I'm like, well, you haven't even started flipping houses yet. And that's what you wanted to do. And you haven't mastered it and you haven't scaled it. But you think if you learn this new thing, you could take creative finance and switch it with agent, switch it with rentals, switch it with Airbnb, switch it with whatever else. But you haven't mastered the one vertical yet. That's why you're not successful. It's not because you need all the verticals. You do after you're like a master at one. But when I first started, right, I was an agent, right? I was agent. And then I was like, okay, I want to learn flipping, right? And I remember people would be like, oh, wholesale. Oh, do this. I'll do that. And I was like, nah, I don't want to do it. I just want to do flipping. And then I got really freaking good at flipping houses where it just automated, where I don't go look at the houses. I already know what the price per square foot on the rehab is. I already know everything. And then I started learning, okay, how do I do novations? Oh, how do I do wholesaling? Good. And then I built out everything else. But you will never be a 7-figure investor if you think you're going to do it all and get there. It's going to be a shit show. Same thing with Wealthy Investor. We're like, we should have this offer, and we'll teach Airbnb, and we'll teach this, and we'll teach that. And then we ended up making the same money or less with more options. And then the salespeople get confused because now they're like, do I pitch them this or do I pitch them that? Do I pitch them creative finance or do I pitch them a listing or do I pitch them innovation or do I pitch them wholesaling? And then, you end up making less money. So anytime a system starts to become too complicated and then salespeople have more choices, they make less.
100%.
Yeah.
That's what I found. And it sounds crazy because I thought the same way. I'm like, oh man, but if you have more options, you have more opportunities on the deals you're going to get. And, like, okay, if we could do innovation, we could do an Airbnb, we could do rentals. We have so many different exit strategies that we should maximize our leads, when it's just not the case. Because in order for the acquisitions guys to know all of that stuff, they would have to know as much as I do, which took a lot of time and a lot of effort. Instead of just run it this way, and it's either a yes or a no. It's not okay, what if we did this? What if we did that? What if we did this? Then it's just easier for them to say yes or no instead of having to think about all the different things on the back end that could possibly be. And a lot of times the time that it takes and the effort that it takes in order to make that deal that's not really a deal, you could have made way more money on the next deal anyway because you're trying to make some a deal that's not. Yeah,
you're trying to fit like a square into a circle box when it's just like, dude, you should have just told them they have to do a square.
Exactly. This is what we do. This is what we do. This is the only thing we do. It either works for you or it doesn't. Does it work? And they're like, yep, let's do it.
Okay.
Or they're like, no.
And then they come back.
Exactly. It's like, oh, no, it doesn't work. Okay. Hey, no problem. Let us know if anything changes in the future. And that was the biggest change for us. And there's two things, no matter what exit strategy, you have to get hyper good at. One is marketing. The other one is sales. So no matter what, all of those different exit strategies that you talk about, you still have to have those two skills, marketing and sales. And so no matter what, you might as well get good at them, because that's the thing is we did transition from rentals to Airbnbs to flipping and wholesaling. And we did all of them